haven't heard one, although maybe a little bit. Fun. Is that important or not? Should induction experiences be fun or not? Do they have to be? They should be. I always tell my students when they come in the class, look, I take bribes, bring them in small bills. It won't affect your grade, but realize I really love bribes, so bring me lots of money. And they laugh because they think here's a professor and he's telling us that he takes bribes, which of course you can't say. You just simply can't say that. And here I am telling them up front, all right, I'm corrupt, I take bribes, but realize this isn't going to affect your grade at all. And so they know it's just a farce. And that sets the tone for the class. They realize that they can approach me, and that they can have a little bit of fun, and that this may be a better kind of experience. So we're going to move on, although there are other ideas. We've gotten the important ones you put first. We're going to move on to our next question so that we have enough time. We've only got an hour left. I'll put some of those ideas up while you're talking about this, but what are your best and worst mentoring experience? Mentoring, how is mentoring different from induction, if anything at all? What does it mean to be a good mentor? And what are some of your best and worst mentoring experiences? So first of all in your group, define what mentoring is, see if you can come to some description, and then give an example of a best and a worst one, and guess what I'm going to ask you to do? Not tell me what they are, but what are the key factors that make those experiences the best ones and that make them the worst ones? Okay? So this will help us to get some of these ideas together. So you go ahead and do your work. I'll put some of the summaries up here. So at the end of this, we can all take home all these ideas together. Okay? All right. We need to dampen the great discussion that's going on, but we need to get some of these ideas out on the table for everyone. And I think just having walked around the room, that I'll just join the tables and let all of you come up and lead the workshop, because the things I was hearing were very positive kinds of experiences that all people who are working in mentoring need to hear about. What is each of your definitions of what is a mentoring description? What is a mentor? We talked about this for those of you who were in the workshop yesterday, but not everybody was there. So what did you think a mentor was in each of your tables, just briefly?
Mentor is one who guides.
One who guides. Okay, let's move to the next.
We came up with a description for mentoring. So we came up with the process of continuous learning where a more experienced person acts as a facilitator, providing a scaffolding to a less experienced person.
Process of continuous learning with scaffolding
by a more experienced person.
Okay.
Mentor is an empathizer.
Empathizer. Great.
Mentor is a guide.
A guide. Okay. Facilitator. Okay, great. Someone who, yes.
He's not only giving you suggestions, he's helping you to look for options.
Problem solving.
Okay. Yes. Influences. Okay, so what we're hearing, all of these terms have to do with the development of agency that Mary Louise Holly was talking about. This idea that we develop, the person who is mentoring us is concerned about us and the development of our realization of our role. Self-realization is what's happening with these great mentors. So, with that in mind, let's have some examples of what made for great experiences. We only have, well, we're already out of time for this one, but we're going to just go around the room with each table and give one example of what made a great mentoring experience and one that was not so great. What made that? From each group. We'll start at this table this time. What was great? What was a characteristic?
The confidence given by the mentor. First was when the mentors get very picky.
Okay, picky. Good. Great. How about over here?
Supporting the positive attitude of the mentors.
Supporting positive attitude. Okay. And what about worst?
Relying more on a mentor instead of going for our demand and expectations.
Relying on the mentor. Good. That the mentoring is teacher-centered rather than student-centered. So what we're hearing about is the same thing as in our classrooms. Good. How about this table?
When you develop a trust between someone and you can trust somebody to share your problems with.
Trust. Boy, what a great word. What about bad?
Authoritative.
Okay, remember when we're finished with this, I'm going to tell you the answers to everything and give you the right answers. And we're going to throw away everything you've had to say, right? That's exactly what we mean by an authoritative figure. Oh yeah, we want you to be involved, and then at the end they say, and this is how you're going to do it. Right, good.
The best experience is trust between the mentor and the mentee. And the worst experience is the expectations when they're too high. You can't reach them, you know. So you
Expectations too high.
give up on the mentor.
Yeah, and I think that as mentors and people who are in helping people be inducted into new systems, we have to realize that not everyone comes to the table with the same skills and development. And so therefore our expectations can't be uniform. Very good. Next.
The best experience can be bringing awareness and being proactive.
Bringing awareness and proactive.
approach.
Great.
And worst experiences
Overconfidence. Great. So I'm going to once again put these on the board, and we're going to move on to our next question. Yeah. Okay.
Is there a differentiation between the word mentor and the word coach?
Is there a difference between a mentor and a coach?
Yes, there is a great difference. That's what I was about to say. The mentor, most of the times, to me, would never ever be authoritative. Your trust level is this much high. Trust level, and you just share common goals. He would guide you through those paths which he has already gone through, and he would lead you that these are the odd things that you have to be aware of these things. So to me, I think mentor is always a positive term in every situation, until you know, because the moment you attach these negative things to mentoring is vanished.
And mentor is basically a role
Yes, that coach is there, that counselor is there. There are so many other jargons for all these specifications.
Okay, we have to move on, or else we're not going to have done what I have been told we need to get done by the authoritative people who said you have to do this. Okay? So, yes, deliverables. Yeah, I have to deliver something at the end. The truth is that I think we've got some more interesting things to discuss, and we've only got an hour and a half. So we need to be finished in about 50 minutes, and we still have 3 questions. So when has collaboration been helpful or a hindrance, and why? Collaboration. And we're now talking about, we normally think of when the person is a mentor, when we are inducting people into something, we're doing stuff to them. We're talking about collaboration now in this process of induction and mentoring. When has collaboration been helpful, or when has it been a hindrance? And give some examples of why collaborations are helpful and why they're a hindrance, and what made those work and what made them a hindrance. And I want examples that show how collaboration leads to greater group intelligence. There's all studies out now in sociology that shows that when individuals make decisions, sometimes they're brilliant, and you can move forward and it's easy. You know, authority is great when you have a benevolent dictator who gets it right. But we also have examples that when you get it wrong, there's nothing to stop it. And that democracy is messy, but in the end, all sorts of social systems in biology that take into account group decision making. There's an intelligence that leads to better decision making, even among humans, when everyone gives an equal voice. So in this process of induction and mentoring, I want us to talk about collaboration. And what kind of examples do you have where collaboration was helpful from either the people who were being inducted or maybe the collaboration that you developed with your mentor or that you developed with your mentee? This means collaboration, not the things that you folks have already defined were great experiences. Being inclusive, not having too high expectations, not being authoritative. So collaboration is the key term for the next 15 minutes. You have about 6 minutes to do these things and then we'll summarize that, okay? Okay, the authoritative mean person is going to stop your conversation, which is the important thing going on. And what we need to do now is to find what the helpful collaborations were. What were the characteristics? And what made them work and what didn't make them work? So let's hear from each table again. We'll start in the middle this time. What was an example of a helpful collaboration? What?
The coordination between both the mentor and the mentee, the people who are collaborating, and then the level of trust, and one more thing, the sharing of interests as well.
The level of trust and?
Interests, the sharing of interests, the interests should be same.
Open discussion.
Open discussion.
Common interests, common discussion. What did you say the last one?
Open discussion.
Open discussion.
Accepting the point of view as well.
Okay, and shall we get your worst as well?
It's time consuming.
Time consuming.
Wastage of
time.
Wait a
Conflict.
minute, you folks are teachers. You have all the time in the world.
Oh, yes, we do.
What's wrong with you?
Yes, you started.
Okay, time consuming. What else? I'm sorry.
You started this time thing.
Time consuming. That's what it
Conflicts with
is.
it.
Conflicts. Okay, so let's go to a different group. Great. These are very helpful.
We decided that the mentor should be a good listener.
Okay, good listener.
And another thing that there should be an element of ownership within
Ownership.
Great. The hindrance is that the mentor is not accessible and there is a lack of trust or confidentiality.
Not accessible and not confidential. Great, those are important. Okay, how about the other groups? Other things we want to add. Levels of trust, sharing, common interest.